Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I am Barb Lemieux, President and CEO of the New North, and we are welcoming you here to our Broadband Accelerator this morning. We have convened a really dynamic group of panelists throughout the day. I first want to acknowledge that this would not have happened without Jim Wood coming to us and talking about events that they're doing all around the state that does a deeper dive into the obstacles that we all face with regard to talent attraction, talent retention, and obviously we want to continue to grow our business community in the state of Wisconsin. So we thank Jim and team very much for putting this on. I have Mark always on speed dial, so he was an easy yes and said, we know all of you as counties are looking at the development of broadband county plans. So it was a natural to have Mark be on the panel as well. And then our colleague, Brittany Byard with Grow North and on the governor's commission on broadband. So we really wanted that regional perspective as well. So how do we all get here and what is it that we want to accomplish today? I know our next panel is going to do a deeper dive into the New North journey into broadband, which has led to each of our 18 counties having their own implementation plans and looking at what we need to do to solve it. So I think we're beyond studying the problem. It's now let's just get it fixed, right? So you will also hear today, we have broadband is not going to work without the triad, and that triad is our internet service providers, and we have many in the room, and we thank you all for your investment. We are also broadcasting this virtually, so we have many more that are joining us that way, and we have good broadband in the building that we can make that happen. But again, we thank our internet service providers for their continued investment in our region and across Wisconsin. The second leg of that stool is really local government, and at the state level, the federal level, and local government. We're really pleased today to have Kara Cook here with NTIA, and we are going to do a deep dive into the panel with the Public Service Commission on the various funding opportunities that are available so we all understand it. And we can figure out how we develop a strategy that we can tap into those federal resources. And then I also mentioned the Public Service Commission is very much going to be part of today's panel. And that third leg of that stool is really economic development professionals. It's our local partners. We're very proud of the collaboration we have here in Northeast Wisconsin in particular, and many of our local partners are sitting in the room. They're closest to the issue, so they're hearing from their business communities and from residents about issues that they have concerning broadband and coming up with creative solutions as to how we get that fixed. So thank you all for being here. I am going to turn it over now to Brittany for some opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Barb. And thank you for putting this together again with Jim. As Barb said, I'm the Executive Director of Grow North Regional Economic Development Corporation. So the first hat I have been wearing is economic development. But I, for the past 2 years, served as the chair and am now outgoing from the task force on broadband for the state of Wisconsin. And I just wanted to make sure that, I think a little perspective is needed. Wisconsin actually has a lot of the resources put in place compared to some of the other states. We've had an Office of Broadband for a number of years. We've had great investment in grants from the states where other states haven't been doing that. And the task force has stood up during COVID, but the work started previous to COVID, knowing that broadband was such a needed issue. And so as we're all working together on this issue, we have a great base to be working from. But the real work is still ahead, and it's the conversations that haven't been put together yet, the unusual people who could be at the table who are not there yet, that all need to be invited because it's going to be part of the solution making. And I know that we're all looking at this moment as this unprecedented investment in broadband, and it really will take the federal dollars traveling all the way down to the local level with local preparedness, local partnerships between those providers, between municipalities, and those organizations that are going to be really important for making sure that the projects move forward. It's going to be really important for all of us to work together. So the continual interest from the public and the size of the conversations on this really encourages me, because I know that people are aware of the need. And I really thank you for all of the time that you've put towards this individually as we try to find the solutions for everyone in the state.
Thanks, Brittany. Thanks, Barb. I'm Mark O'Connell, President and CEO of the Wisconsin Counties Association. First of all, incredibly happy to be on Barb's speed dial. At any time, when, as many of you know, when Barb asks, you just say yes, and then you ask, what is it? And that is the case here as well. An event like this can only occur with the help of partners and sponsors. And so we are so incredibly grateful to New North, and Barb, you and your entire team for helping make this happen. Of course, we have sponsors of this event, American Family Insurance, Wood Communications Group, and the Wisconsin Counties Association. I've often talked about the need for a successful, vibrant private sector in this state. And when we look at what it is the private sector needs to be successful, it's a long list. But when you look at the top of the list, it is smart young talent, a lot of brain power, the new wealth makers of tomorrow. It is available capital to grow, to expand, to risk. But most importantly, an infrastructure, the hard infrastructure like our surface streets and our harbors, but our soft infrastructure, which is really going to position us to be successful in a new millennium knowledge technology-based economy. And what does that mean? Well, in short words, broadband. How do we get it? How do we get it everywhere? And how do we get the high speed? And how do we connect all of us so that we are positioned to succeed in Wisconsin and make our economy all that it can be? That is part of what we're going to talk about today. Are there going to be, is there going to be a list of absolute, this is what we need to do to be successful by the end of the day? Maybe. But are we going to more likely take major steps toward, I think I can see the end of the tunnel. I see some light. And it's going to take a lot of us working together, holding hands, maybe holding hands with folks we didn't normally hold hands with in the past, but holding hands to walk toward this successful state. What I would suggest to you is that broadband is necessary as we play the long game, not the short game of who's going to win today at the expense of someone else, but how do we play the long game so our entire state is positioned for success, every part of it. And broadband's a big part of that. So welcome to everyone here at Fox Valley.